I just got out of the office and I'm finally coming home. I'll be late. I decided to walk and I got lost in the streets of London. It was dark and I turned in the wrong place. I will go back from here in the narrow street and I will be home soon. See you later, but don't wait me for the dinner. What are those footsteps? I hear, is anyone here? Ah!
It's weird. There is someone lying on the ground, but who is it? It must be a homeless, and he definitely needs help.
How can I help you, miss? Are you all doing okay? How awful! There is a knife implanted in her skull. She's dead. Help! Quick! Help! The murder has taken place. Ah! Who is screaming? What is going on? Ah! What is happening? Ah! 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 What is happening here? Ah! Oh my God! How awful! But who killed this poor woman? Allah! Am I talking to the police? Come quickly! We found a dead body on the street, lying in the middle of the street. Help us!
Good evening. It is police station, Detective Hastings. Where are you? Tell me the address.
We are at 8 Bleeding Heart Yard Street. There is no one else except me and another lady who had discovered the body and called for help. Please come as soon as possible. Yeah, thank you.
Your story seems very strange to me from the start. Don't worry, the police will arrive anytime, as well as the private investigator, or rather the detective, who will take care of the case. Stay where you are. Good evening, or rather good morning. Let me introduce myself. I'm Detective Jack Hastings. I'm the one who is going to lead the investigation of this enigmatic murder. I promise to find the criminal as soon as possible. You are lucky or maybe unlucky to have me as a detective of this crime. Because I'm the best detective in London, better known than Hercule Poirot, and the most interested with murderous cases. I'm here looking for clues, and I ask you to allow me to question you with a few questions before I take you to the police station, while waiting for the interrogation, when the identity of the victim will be released. As you must have understood, you are for the moment the only witnesses, and you are considered as a potential suspects. So I beg you to tell me shortly your version of the story and what you know about the assassination. I am glad to meet you, Mr. Hastings. My name is Kelly Rogers. I have been living on this street for not too long. I don't know what happened and how it happened. But the only thing I can tell you is that this night I hear the scream. But it was only after this lady's screams for help that I ran down the street and I called you. Mademoiselle Harley Jules, do you agree with what Mrs. Rogers said? Why were you at Bleeding Yard Street? What were you doing here at midnight? Where were you when the crime happened? Did you see the murder scene with your own eyes? When the crime happened, I was not yet here. At midnight, I was in the car. I was driving across the street to get to the city center when suddenly I saw the victim on the ground. Believing she was a homeless person, I walked over, and it was then, after noticing the knife stuck in her head, that I realized the gravity of the situation. Not knowing what to do, I called for help. So please let me repeat the facts. You were driving your car when suddenly you saw a woman lying on the ground. It was then that you came out and realized that she was swimming in a puddle of blood, killed by a cold weapon, the least original, but at the same time the most suited to this kind of crime. Am I right, Mademoiselle Jules? I said something wrong, did I? Exactly. We can interpret it that way if you wish. So, before our upkeep of tomorrow, directly at the police station for more precise information, one last question. Do you have an alibi? No, Mr. Detective. I was alone to my knowledge. Let's start with you, Mademoiselle Rogers, and let's leave the most interesting part for the end. So, first of all, I would like to know more specifically what you were doing yesterday at midnight when the crime happened. As I told you yesterday, I was at home, but I was all alone because my husband left for a business trip. I was quietly watching television when suddenly I heard a cry coming from the other side of the street. I approached the window but saw no one and nothing weird. Forgive me for interrupting you, but are you sure you haven't seen someone run away? I'm pretty sure the street was totally deserted. And if anything has happened, I would have seen and heard it instantly. So since there was no one there, I continued to watch my TV series. Do I understand correctly? Instead of going out to see if there was anyone, you prefer to stay at home. Indeed, I didn't pay much attention the first time, since the scream lasted very short. Also, because of my television, I was not sure what I heard. It must have happened very quickly then. Yes, although this night seemed very, very long to me. To conclude, the fact that you were alone at home at the time of the crime means that you have no alibi. Am I right? Yes, effectively, I live alone at the moment, and the only person who can justify what I'm saying is Mademoiselle Jules, who saw me running out of my house. Okay, thank you for your testimony. We are done for the moment. You are welcome. I am delighted to be able to help you in the case. I have finished questioning Mademoiselle Rogers, and I would like to talk to you now. Okay, so tell me, since you discovered the victim, maybe did you know or have you ever seen her before? No, Mr. Detective, I didn't know her. She's a simple stranger that I found dead when I was driving home. The identity of the victim was discovered following a call from her husband, who reported the missing. Imagine, speaking of that, the victim was the famous Mademoiselle Kathleen Brooks, of whom many Londoners are jealous. Okay, then, have you seen or heard anything in particular before discovering the body? I thought I heard screams, but I didn't know where they came from. And what did you do after? So I kept driving my car, and it was there that I saw this woman. I guess that you were very afraid. Yes, very afraid. Oh my god, it was so horrible and terrifying. I was petrified like a statue. Do you have other details to add on the murder? No, I can't tell you anything else. So, what do you think, Sherlock? On the one hand, the story of Mademoiselle Rogers seems unbelievable to me. Although what she told is totally possible. I cannot be convinced that she is the killer. Although I'm pretty sure that the knife that served as a weapon to kill the victim belonged to Kelly, who claims that she lives next to the scene of the crime. But on the other hand, Mademoiselle Jules said that she was driving in order to get to her house in the direction of the city center. And yet, the street, Bleeding Yard Street, that the suspect took to get to her house, is a dead-end street through which no one can pass. How does she explain that? Moreover, I knew from the beginning that the two women were telling lie. To conclude, I believe that I have finally solved the investigation. I'm pretty sure the culprit is Mademoiselle Haley Jules. You are right, Mr. Hastings. Yes, I am the murderer. I killed that poor woman, but I did this because of Mademoiselle Kelly Rogers. Haley, don't even dare to do what you are doing. You will suffer consequences of which you know the motive. Calm down. Continue, Mademoiselle Haley Jules. I'm listening to you with the greatest attention. I was forced and threatened by this lady. We haven't known each other for a long time, but she got me into this horrible crime. What can you add to this? Instead of lying to you, since I have no choice, I will tell you the truth. Kathleen Brooks was my business partner, and in a way, we became friends. But I was always jealous of her. She was always better than me, and it was driving me crazy. Moreover, I started to hate her even more when I saw her on TV and learned how she was famous. Her popularity filled me with hate towards her. So I decided to kill her. I tried to give her the impression that we were friends and that she could count on me. That horrible day, I had followed her from the work to the street. And since I couldn't kill her on my own because I felt unable to do it, I involved Haley in this crime.